Man, you were there this weekend too, huh? You enjoyed it? That's awesome. Now the NYC one could get moved to DC or Florida. So keep an eye out for that. If that happens, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. And that would be amazing. Florida's always fun. I have a blast there. Had to fly home. I'd still be there right now teaching you guys from Florida if I didn't have to come back to take care of a bunch of stuff here this week. Tempted to go back to Florida next week and just hang out with some friends before they move. One of my friends is moving to Puerto Rico, so I might go out and hang out with him for a week and do all my business from Florida. So you guys in Florida, I may come back out there and visit y'all. But either way, let's hop into today's call. I just want to do a little casual talk, kick it in the groove. I just woke up from a nap, so I'm letting myself drop in a little bit and letting myself relax and open back up. Anyways, this weekend we talked a lot about flow, and we talked about getting into flow state. But one of the realizations that a lot of people get from flow state is that flow state is your ultimate teacher. In reality, flow state is a form of releasing. And in this call, we're going to be talking a lot about self-esteem, like growing your self-esteem. Like when that your growth is all about self-esteem. What do you do when you have low self-esteem? And those moments when you start to learn to cultivate flow state, you're actually pumping there's at least 6 different neurochemicals that go into your body that I listed over the weekend. And when those neurochemicals go into your body, you feel fucking amazing. And when you start to feel amazing and you start to cultivate the ability to go into flow, which you can do, which I talked about a lot over the weekend, this ability to go into flow, like little flows here and there every day. And I think the most successful people in the world go into flow with business, with life every day. They cultivate, they get up in the morning and they cultivate it some more. And there's ways to do that. I think that cultivation of a really good cap-like state causes courage, acceptance, love, peace, naturally causes you to release all kind of repressed stuff as you succeed. As each time you go into flow and you write a little bit more of that book and it feels amazing. Each time you go out and go into flow, being social or talking to girls, each time you go into flow with whatever, you feel better about yourself. That naturally improves your self-esteem and starts to naturally gobble up like Pac-Man, all the negative stories inside of you. And it just leaves you feeling better and better and better. That's why it's such a powerful state to start to cultivate and to learn to play with. Now, with that said, people were saying, how do you develop more self-esteem if you don't have it? And part of it is your taffy exercise is terrific. I have been doing it in the morning. It is cool beyond words. Is it not? It's one of my favorites, man. It's changing my life. And I don't just do it. Here's the funny part. I don't just do it with big things. I do it with mostly little things. So, and it's causing me to love my day to day more and more and more. But awesome, John. So self-esteem. There are people that I see, and I was having a discussion with somebody about it today with the coaches. There are clients that I see, some of which are really bad at acknowledging really bad at acknowledging their now. Like, how do I feel about myself? Right? Oh, I'm great. I'm happy. Life's good. I could do it. I got it. And if you dropped underneath that, you would see that they are not feeling that way. You can see they're kind of state pumping a little, and they're telling you what you want to hear, and they're telling themselves what they want to hear. They've read a million personal growth books that tell them just pretend and you'll get there. Tell yourself over and over again, you got this, you can make it happen, stuff like that. And when you feel sad, just put a fake smile on, tell everybody you're happy. I got it. I'm happy. I'm good. And they've done that for so many years. They're kind of in denial. And there's another group that runs around, and they say stuff like the opposite. And I'm thinking of 2 guys in particular. They're kind of opposites of each other. And the other guy runs around going, "Oh, I'm a piece of shit. I can't do anything. I don't want to try." And and both of these guys have a lot of great qualities. They're both solid dudes. The other guy's like, "What's the point? It won't work." There's a little Eeyore mentality to them, right? And they've both done a lot of work on themselves. And the one with the Eeyore mentality has changed his life radically. He's doing better than he's ever done. But he's still this sense of, oh, yeah, it's going to be hard work. And the other one's like, let's get up and do it. Let's go for it. Oh, life's great. And so what you're missing in both of them is the ability to observe and be honest, which is what you need to develop powerful self-esteem, to be really honest without making yourself right or wrong, good or bad, without saying, and so honesty doesn't mean like, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a loser. That's not honesty. Saying I have a thought in my head, I'm a piece of shit, and I get the feelings of feeling heavy, that, and then going, but that's not necessarily true. And it's not true or not true. It's just a thought, and it feels heavy and it hurts, but I can handle it. Or I don't even know if I can handle it. It's hard to believe I can handle it, but I've handled everything else so far. Is a different attitude than I am a piece of shit. Does everybody see what I'm talking about there? One of them, I'm reporting the details of my experience. The other, I am becoming the experience. One, I'm reporting the details. The other, I'm becoming the experience. Look, does everybody understand what I'm saying there? Put a yes if you do. Thank you. If you don't, put a no. Okay, good. We're getting to how you work on your self-esteem here. This is all part of releasing, understanding, releasing better too. You always need to go deeper with the releasing stuff too. Revealing, I should say revealing. So the other one, he says, the other guy says, oh, I could do it. I got it. Oh, I'm great. I'm happy. But underneath the surface, he's feeling, I can't do it. This is going to be hard. So he says, I can do it. I got it. I want to try. And then underneath the surface again is I'm a failure. And he would be better off saying, yeah, I can do it. Calming down, saying, yeah, I can do it. But I do have the thought, I can't do it going on inside, and the feeling of being heavy. And I know, and again, can I feel the part of me that thinks that's true? Can I feel the part of me that thinks that's right or wrong? Is it true? Is it right or wrong? Matter of fact, none of it's true rather than the thought and the power I give the thought. You can question it. And because if he keeps pushing it down, he actually gives it more power. So both of them are doing the same thing. Now, both these guys are actually really solid dudes if they dropped all those thoughts. I mean, who they're being right now is already super attractive to women, super solid. But both of them have the opposite problem, right? Whereas you could have another guy that's got a lot of work to do personally. He's going to be style. He got to learn to take care of himself better. He actually is disembodied, can't feel much. And sometimes you have that guy and he's got bad embodiment but better self-esteem, and he does better with women than the dudes who should be doing better. Like they've got the skill set, but they just go, they're out of alignment with what they feel about themselves. And that's the problem. So self-esteem is about getting really honest about what you're feeling, knowing that 100%, all of you guys out there right now, there's only 17 of you. Why is there only 17 of you today? Huh. That doesn't hurt my self-esteem. No, just kidding. Usually there's 50. So I don't know if the email went out late or what, but, or it didn't get to all of the guys or something, but usually, we have around 50. So that's interesting. But anyways, they'll watch it in replay, knowing that they're like, I know that none of the stories in my head are actually real. That as I change my beliefs, my experience in the outside world changes. So if I'm having an external experience of sucking with women, I know my stories are creating it. If I'm having an external experience of being great with women, I know my stories are changing it. I know my attachments, my belief is creating my reality, but that doesn't mean that my body doesn't feel like that belief is real. And that's where the self-esteem comes from. And the more I buy into that, the more I get lost in it, the more pain I suffer. Like if I start to say, oh, this is real, this is how it really works. So I'm constantly challenging my limiting beliefs, knowing that my beliefs create my reality of the world. So to change your self-esteem, you have to be able to look at what you're feeling and say yes to it all the time. Yeah, there's a feeling inside my body that I hate myself. Doesn't mean that I do. Matter of fact, I would argue that nobody really hates themselves. They only feel like they do. And then if you can get underneath that, you're going to live with nothing but self-love. If you can get beneath all that self-hate, powerful when you think about it. So, You're an hour early compared to we always come on at 5 p.m. Huh, interesting. But anyways, so maybe something out in air. Um, so let that kind of set inside. Hey, Paul, you were there too, man. Did you have fun this weekend? Yes, but that doesn't sound negative question mark. It's okay to share that meeting a woman for the first. I'm not talking about how to approach a woman at all, Clint. I'm talking about how you deal with your self-esteem issues. Because as your self-esteem issues change, you will feel better about yourself. Then when you go to approach a woman, you'll feel more powerful. You'll feel more solid. Awesome. Glad you learned a lot, Paul. So guys, remember, I'm not talking about approaching women right now. I'm talking about getting to the root and the core of your self-esteem. So when I go out to work on myself, I'll go out and I'll sit in a bar with a lot of hot girls, and I might sit there and I'll do the exercise where I'll look at somebody and I'll connect to that person. I'll feel them fully, and I'll feel all the responses that come up in my body. I feel all the negative thoughts. I don't like myself. I'm not good enough. And I welcome them all. I'm a piece of shit. I'll actually work on opening my heart and feeling my stomach and the core, what we call the center pillar of my body, while I do it. And I'll listen to my thoughts. Oh, this will never work. I can't do that. But what I don't do is analyze them. I don't attach to them. What I do is I want to feel the feelings they're create the thoughts, because there's a thought and there's a feeling, right? And then we call the feeling an emotion, like sadness. But if you get to the feeling, what does it feel like in my body? Does my heart want to tighten? Can I open it a little bit more? Can I open it a little bit more? And I'll walk down the street where there's a lot of beautiful women, and I'll look at each one. What does she make me feel? Open my heart a little bit. And what does the next person make me feel? What does the next person make me feel? And I'll do it with everybody. And I'm only looking for low levels of, like, I'm looking for the people that cause me typically low levels of tension, not high. And there's a really important reason for that. Let's say somebody causes me a 1 or a 2 on the tension scale, 1 to 10, a 3 maybe. That's great. Because I can actually release that. I can feel that 1 or 2. I can feel that little bit of pressure in my body. Can I relax that a little bit? Go to the next person. Can I relax it? And I might look at a person, look away, relax it. Look at a person, look away, relax it. Look at a person, feel it, my body tighten. Oh man, she's a little too pretty for me. Look away, relax it. And then pretty soon I start to feel better. Maybe I won't even feel it that day. Maybe I won't feel the results till the next time I go out. That happens a lot too, or an hour later as the body starts to readjust from what you're doing. And I'll keep working on those 1, 2s, and 3s. If I see a woman that pops me into a 10, I'm probably not going to go. It's going to be hard to work on that because your mind's going to be racing too much. So I'm looking for these lower levels, but eventually that 10 will be a 7, and then eventually that 10 will be a 5, then eventually that 10 will, and it'll come down to be worked on, and you'll start to get more confidence. So I do this all the time. I go to places where I feel a little insecure, and I just welcome up the insecurity. I look for the component parts, the little pieces, as Hawkins would talk about, where I am holding on to some tension, and I'll sit almost in a conscious, open-eyed, meditative state, welcoming that and letting it go. I will go to places that challenge my self-esteem. I used to hate bars, man. And unfortunately, I haven't been to a bar in forever. Well, no, technically I have, because it was just in Florida, but out here, and I haven't really been out to a bar in a while, in the way I used to be. But I used to hate going to bars. It used to cause me tons of anxiety just walking in the door. So I took a week and I'd go into the bar every night, and I would sit in the bar and I'd sit outside and welcome all the emotions. I'd go, and then I'd walk away and let it all go, sit and walk back up, sometimes get in line, get back out, because I had that much anxiety to where I was freaking out. Then I'd go sit inside the bar for a little bit and welcome it. And then until I felt like I needed a break, and I'd leave. I wouldn't look at my cell phone, drink a glass of water. I don't want any distractions. And I think it took me less than a week of doing this on a regular basis. And suddenly one day I had a huge shift. And I was like, whoa, I feel so much more comfortable in this bar. I feel so much better. And that's just being in the bar. That didn't mean I suddenly was willing to approach it. Suddenly I was enjoying myself in the bar, and I wasn't worried about what people thought about me so much. So then I started picking out individuals. How does that person make me feel? And how do I allow, the better question is, how do I allow that person to make me feel a certain way? And what is that way? Am I judging that way? Am I making that way right or wrong, good or bad? And then if I feel that, can I let any of that go? And eventually it kind of dissolves into this sense of just welcoming or yesing. Another word I could use is yesing. Can I just say yes to that feeling? I don't like it. I think I'm not good enough for her. Can I just say yes to that? Breathe it in. Oh, yeah. And now I feel lighter. Can I acknowledge that maybe I feel even a little, I feel even better about like more, I feel like I am maybe a little good for her. Can I feel like I'm good for her, that I'd actually be a good boyfriend? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Okay. Can I say yes to that? Okay. Now I can welcome the part of me that doesn't feel good enough for her. And I could play with this stuff because you have both parts, you have both sides. We all do. We have, when you don't feel good enough for a woman, there is a part of you that does feel good enough. It might only be 1%. And the vice versa too. When you feel amazing and you feel powerful, there's probably a tiny part of you. If you look for it, you have to look for it, where you could actually call up not feeling good enough. You can actually just call this stuff up in your mind, because you create your reality. So the more you think about it, the more you can create it in the moment, the more you can call it up by the focus of your thoughts. So all I'm really doing when I go out is welcoming all those thoughts that run automatically in the background, all the feelings. And I'm releasing all the sense of right and wrong, good and bad. I'm releasing all the sense that I should or shouldn't be there, that I'm not good enough for her. And then I'm letting it go, knowing at my core that none of those thoughts are true. That's why I can welcome them, even if they hurt, because I know they're all lies. Or I know that my mind is making them true. Like Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Because if you think you can't, you will be right. You'll make that true. And if you think you can, you're right. You will make that true. Because the world responds to your belief. And it's not just thought. It goes a level deeper. Like you got the random thoughts going off the top of your head. Should I do this? Should I do that? Then you got these thoughts that are deeper, much deeper. They're more like thoughts that are kind of melded into the feelings in your body, and they're melded together. You have to really listen to hear them. And you're used to ignoring them all day. But if you pay attention to those deeper thoughts, your secret thoughts, I think as Zan says, deep, deep down inside, you'll hear yourself say, I can't do that. That won't work. Those are the thoughts I want to get to. What's the point? And so many clients are so good at repressing those. And those are the ones that I want to feel. And they're still not true. I just know they're running the show at a deeper level. They're more integrated to my subconscious mind and my nervous system. And as I learn to let those go and start to change them into something lighter and lighter and lighter, you're going to see that your whole world starts to change around you. So this video is really on, if we say it's about changing your self-esteem, it's largely about learning to say yes to the feelings you have so you can let them go. It's learning to welcome what's coming up. So I want you all to take a few moments to just notice what you're feeling right now. Everybody welcome exactly what you're feeling, and notice your thoughts, your current thoughts. So what's Brian talking about? What should I do? Should I go left? Should I go right? Just whatever random thoughts you're having. Oh, there's something over there. Because, there's a part of your conscious mind that wants to pick up on things, wants to analyze things. And then see if you can drop beneath that and start to look for the deeper thoughts, the ones that run in the background, your secret thoughts. Those ones might be saying, I can't do this. Or you might have a layer that says, I can do this. I got it. And then get beneath that. What are the thoughts that are beneath that? Because why do you need to tell yourself you can do this? If you could do it, you just do it. You don't even need to tell yourself that. So there's another thought under that driving that. So get down in there and notice what your thoughts are. What's your thought process right now? As a matter of fact, we're going to add one more layer to it. Picture the woman of your dreams, or a woman that would be a woman of your dreams if you're looking for multiple for some reason. And what are those secret thoughts? What are the deep thoughts deep down inside? Get beneath the surface layer to the deeper thoughts. And just listen. You have to get kind of silent inside. You have to stop focusing intensely. You have to relax. As you picture that woman and you picture yourself with her, what are the thoughts that come to mind? And somebody, whoever's got a thought or two, just write it in the chat box. I want to see what's coming up for you guys. Not good enough, toxic shame, ease, happy. I'd find someone to mess it up with. Okay, good, good, good. These are the ideas. So get down there. Broken. I just feel hopeless. Some way she could do better. So good. Who had a negative thought, but had a positive thought first and then found the negative thought underneath it? Like, I can do it. I got it. And they could feel the state pump in that. Oh, this will be easy. I got it. And then underneath that, you were saying the reason you're saying this will be easy is because you had a negative thought. Who had some experience like that? Okay, good. Good. And I'm not saying everybody has that experience. Some people, it might actually just be ease because you're making the image. Yeah, I got this. Because you're actually great at approaching women. You're great with women and you know it. Okay, good. Now feel the feelings that go with the thought. Feel the feelings that go with the thought. That's great, Doug. That's probably because you dissolve the negative, and then as you dissolve the negative, it gets more positive again. That's exactly right. And just notice what they are. And feelings. I'm not talking about an emotion. I'm talking about the feelings. Like, I feel tense in my chest. I feel burning sensation in my heart. I feel a tingle in my hips. I feel my this area of my stomach tightening up. Notice what's coming up with those thoughts and just welcome them. And then I want you to say yes to them. Whatever's coming up, just say yes to it. Can I just say yes to that? Another way to say it is, can I allow that? Can I just be with that? And just notice what happens when you do that. And then notice if you're making the thoughts right or wrong, good or bad. You're judging them in some way. That's the pride level of emotion. And if you are, just watch yourself do that and see if you can just say yes to that. And every time you say yes, ask yourself, can I just relax into it? And if I can I just let it go? Can I just relax into it and let it go? Sometimes they get more intense before they leave. If that happens, allow the intensity to be more intense. Sometimes you feel your stomach, if it's your stomach, gets a little sicker or burns a little bit more. Sometimes the muscle tightens a little bit more. Can you just say yes to that too? Can you just allow it to happen? And can you allow it a little bit more? A little bit more? And a little bit more? And can you continue just to allow it? Or can you just say yes to it again? And then whatever else comes up as they change, because they will change, the thoughts will change, the sensations will change, or the feelings, the intensification will rise and fall. And then can you say yes to the next thing? Maybe you need to picture a new girl. Maybe the image is even changing. Awesome. So who's noticing a shift when they do this? Like, stuff starting to let go. 1% here, 1% there, a little bit more feeling over here, shifting. Oh, this area of my body got lighter or got more intense first, or I'm in the middle of an intensity. Who's noticing that happening? Put a comment in. To one girl, move to the next, feeling my stomach open up, but a bit sleepy. That's good. Feeling lighter with commitment diminishing. I feel like a short, strong surge of confidence that I've got this. Good, good. Now, what I do with this to build self-esteem is I said this earlier in the video or in the webinar, as I go out to places where I feel my self-esteem threatened or challenged, and I get really honest about what I'm feeling. Then I practice saying yes to it, knowing none of it's true, feeling the sensations and saying yes over and over. Can I let that go? Can I just let that soften and let it go? Can I let that relax and let it go? Can I say yes to that? And I might do this for a while. I might do this for 30 minutes straight as a practice, letting more and more go till I start to feel lighter and lighter. And I have my morning goal too, to feel a certain way with women, to be a certain way. And I read that goal every day and I put it into my subconscious, and my subconscious knows what I'm working on. But throughout the day, I'll go out and do a daily practice of releasing the resistance to receiving my morning goal that I'm reading. Layers and layers of heavy sensation around the chest area coming up. In between the layers, it feels peaceful. Yeah, because under the layers, in between the layers is you're getting to the piece of what is. And then a new layer comes up and it's all coming out of you like a fountain. Awesome. That's really good. And if you do this on a consistent basis, just like exercise, you will get to the core of who you are. This is the same process if we do a mind map, and we mind map them all out and then welcome them all up. But this is a really simple way to do it. And what I love about it is I can walk down the street on a street with a bunch of people walking by, and I can do it with every single. Maybe I'm great at approaching people, and I still can hear thoughts sometimes. I can walk over and talk to that person easy, but today I'm going to use ones and twos on the tension scale. I'm going to walk past that person. I feel a 1 on the tension scale. I'm going to welcome it. I'm going to feel that person a 2, or that person a 3, and that person. And I might not even start talking to people for a while because I'm just welcoming what I'm feeling. I don't want to distract from welcoming what I'm thinking, feeling. And then suddenly, after enough of them, I've released enough and I'm feeling really open. Maybe I'll naturally start saying hi to people. But the whole idea is to give myself a period of time to just be with my feelings and not make them wrong while out in the world, saying yes to every one of them, and then at a deeper level, saying, I don't care what my feelings are. I know I can handle it. And I know at the core, I'm a confident guy. I'm a beautiful guy. So I'm just going to keep releasing these, getting closer and closer to the core, polishing that rock, getting it shiny, that diamond, let's say. My legs are relaxing, not feeling so tense. Good. So, guys, this is a powerful process if done consistently, like all our processes. We don't give you a magic pill. You do it in one day and it's done. We give you stuff you do every day, and then, or for a period of time, set 30 days or something, and you watch yourself change. And you watch, and one day you wake up and there's a bolder you. Sometimes you don't even notice it. You have to look back and go, well, look at the things I've been doing. Wow. So different than what I used to do. Look at how I'm being with people. So different than what I used to do. So what I want to do is ask you guys, what questions do you have about this? And really, what are your experiences with this? And what questions do you have? Are you getting it? Do you guys understanding what I'm talking about? You guys can go ahead and comment. Are y'all still doing it? And you don't want to stop and comment? Oh, I guess my work's done for the day. Just leave you guys to release on your self-esteem, because it all comes down to, how does this person make me feel? This, I feel, works. Anytime I resist, I know I'm running from myself. Yeah. And this is what I'm doing. I'm constantly asking, how do I feel in relation to this person? And can I be honest with myself? Can I welcome it? Now, it gets intense. It does. You can do it at home sitting, but you can also do it sitting. You can do it sitting. You don't have to walk down the street either. You can do it sitting in a cafe for a little bit. Um, I'm saying most of the time when I say yes, I get a release. You know, I don't even have to ask. My body is so used to releasing that as soon as it's ready, it usually drops. What I don't even ask to release anymore. But if I need to, I'll say, "Can I relax that? Can I soften that? Can I let that go? Can I loosen that? Can I get a little lighter?" These are questions I might ask myself if I'm a little stuck. Can I let an even smaller portion go because maybe I'm stuck with the portion that's not working? So I'll just kind of, and I'm just poking at it, knowing that it's going to go. I have every bit of faith that I'll get a piece that'll go. It might be small, but small eventually leads to big. So then it eventually happens. And I might do this sitting somewhere. I might do this walking down the street. I was doing this yesterday in Florida, walking down the street and sitting in the hotel because the hotel was busy with people and it was a really nice hotel. And I had just done the whole workshop and I was feeling stuff and I just wanted to welcome all the people. I'd look at each person, feel them, let it come up and feel that person and that person. And it's funny how many people would just smile at me as they walk by or stuff like that. So a lot of people acknowledge me because I was so in the zone in that moment, feeling so good. Um, nice, Luis. Yeah, was I sitting in the little bar in inside the hotel? And yeah, that was me. I was doing my stuff. So I do this stuff on a regular basis. See, one of my clients caught me. I'm not saying I do it 24 hours a day. Sometimes it seems like I do, but I do it on a regular basis. You know, yep, in front of the laptop. Sometimes too, just like right now. Um, and so you could just do this everywhere. You could do this sitting at the airport, man. And then if you start to feel really good, you can go over and start approaching some girls. You start to feel really good. You go and then you might feel really good for a day and then some deeper stuff comes up. And oh, I'm gonna slow down and I'm gonna welcome for a little bit because there's some deep shit coming up. I don't want to distract from it. I want to get it up and out. And then back to some highs again. And then boom, boom, boom. And you can oscillate as you tear apart, because you're really just tearing apart the ego. And the ego is the only part of you that tells you you're not good enough. Because deep down inside, if you didn't have an ego, you'd all be living in bliss and loving yourselves and loving everybody else. That's all that's left. And so, deep down inside that all that negative self talk is just your ego. That's why I can say without a doubt, this isn't true. And I can say without a doubt that when you have a big enough shift, suddenly it seems like the whole world outside you changes. Suddenly this thing that was hard becomes easy. Suddenly girls show up. Suddenly money shows up. In an area you were resisting and fighting, something changes and then boom, that shows up. As long as you don't, as long as you don't, you can push into it a little bit to cause yourself to feel the stories. But if you push too hard, you won't be able to feel them anymore. You go into a race. When you go into a race, you can't feel the story. So there's a balance between how much you push to get the stories to come up and how much you just welcome and let go. Because if you get in the spins and in a racing mind, you won't be able to release anymore. So you got to back off again. So that balance is there, especially when you're working on your own. You don't have somebody to ground you and contain you. I felt really great during the conference. And then towards the end, I felt a collapse and some darkness. Then it expanded and was great at the very end when I registered for the Fearless Experience. Awesome, man. Nice, Michael. Love hearing that. It's, that stuff happens to me all the time. But here's the difference. I now, even when I feel bad, I feel good because I know the bad is just something releasing. And then my life changes again because I know it's going to lead to more changes in my life and a better world for me and for everybody around me. And so you start to get this sense that that you're playing a video game sometimes and you're just up leveling sometimes is what you're doing. We're all working at up leveling. Feels good now. Good. You're gonna do awesome, dude. So any questions about this so far? Any other questions? I know we got one. No more questions? I know somebody's writing right now. I'm gonna say that, and then I started the Friday challenge this past Friday. Awesome. And within the first hour, I felt as if people were coming to me to say hi because they felt my energy off me. That does happen, Andrew. That definitely happens. And I'm glad you had that experience, because if you get open enough, if the expression energy, which comes from the heart in this area, opens enough, the throat opens enough, and everything gets open and flowing through here, then people will be magnetized to you. They'll be pulled to you. They want to say hi to you. They want to talk to you. But if you're state pumping up here and forcing it, it could be different. It may not be the same experience than if it's naturally happening. So I'm really glad you started that process. We got one coming out this Friday that I did, and I'm working on having some of the coaches record the next two, Anthony and Sam, and we'll see how either I'll do it or they'll do it. But we're gonna have 4 on challenge before we move to another topic, and on challenge, on expression. So if you guys haven't checked that video out, check it out. I really enjoyed doing it, and they're gonna build over time. So yeah, it's easy to see when you start to gain momentum. I feel that when I'm honest with my feelings, I'm afraid I'll bring down the people around me. Luis, right? It's like at work. Well, you don't have to walk around telling everybody. You just have to be honest. And the question is why? Here's the deal. I'm not attached. I can be honest with what my ego is thinking and feeling versus the truth of who I am. There's a big difference between the two. And I don't run around telling everybody everything that thought that I have. Remember, and I wanted to point this out. There was I can't remember the general's name. I need to get his name, but he was, and I've talked about him before, but he was in a prisoner of war with it was his men. I don't think he was a general at the time. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But basically, he said what kept him alive was the fact that every morning he got up and acknowledged the truth of his starting point, of where he was. I'm a prisoner of war. I can acknowledge that, and I can fully accept that. I can say, yes, this is true right now. And I could say, how can I make this day the best day possible, accepting exactly what I'm feeling right now? And that's what I'm talking about, Lise. When you go to work, this is what I'm feeling right now. It's honest. Now, how can I make this the best day possible for the people around me without going into denial, right? Being like, yeah, I can accept this. I can handle this. I'm a man. Now, how can I be great? How can I be positive with those people without denying what I'm feeling? How can I make this day awesome? How can I make this day good? And that's the energy I'm talking about. It's not about not looking at the positive, but it's also not about denying the now. It's about a balance between the two and moving from one, being honest about your starting point, on the starting point on the map, to move to the end point on the map. And if I want to go to the store at the end of the street, I have to know I'm where I'm at right here, sitting right here. Because if I don't know where I'm at, I won't know how to get to the store if I'm not honest. If I keep saying I'm already at the store, I'm great. How the fuck am I going to get to the store? That's the problem that most people in the positive thinking community do. They say, I want to be at the store, so I'm at the store. I'm at the store. I'm at the store. No, not here. I'm not here. I'm not in this room right now. I'm at the store. And they seem crazy, don't they? Because everybody knows they're in this, just how they're really feeling. But they say, yeah, this is what I'm feeling. This is where I'm at now. I want to go to the store, and I'm going to picture the store, enjoy the store, see the store is beautiful. I'll see myself as there, knowing, and I won't deny that I'm here. I'll just see myself as there and let my body take me there. It's going to happen. As a matter of fact, it's happened already. And what I could say is it's happened already energetically in my mind and in the energetic world. I'm at the store, and physically I'm here, and what that'll do is move my physical body there. Right. I've created an image of where I want to be, which is where, like, a better way to put it is I create an image of where I choose being, and that image is held in mind till it happens physically. That's the same thing you're doing with a map, right? When you break out a map, you plug in an address and say, I'm in New York. This is the image I want. I choose being in New York, and I'm in California. I acknowledge I'm in California, otherwise I won't know how to get to New York. Now you drive a little bit, dude, I'm in Nevada, but I choose being in New York. And then you drive a little bit, and now you're farther down the road, and I'm in, I don't know, Utah, and I choose being in New York. And I keep picturing New York, but I acknowledge where I'm at. And pretty soon, New York becomes reality. And that's the point I'm trying to get across. Once a thought brings up the feeling and the sensation of the body, should I be letting the sensation do whatever it does, or should I be doing something or asking questions? If the sensation's in a process of intensification, let it intensify, and just watch it, like watching the waves of the beach roll. They rise up, they come down, or the tide up and down. And then if you can, if it's not leaving, ask it, can I let a little bit of it go? Can I let some of it, can I let it soften? Can I let it loosen? And if you get yeses to those, and you'll get yeses, because even if you don't hear a yes, because you'll see a change in the sensation will change, it'll shift, then do it a little bit more, until it eventually shifts. And you might not get it all in day one. You might get it right away. All are possible. And as you get better at this, you'll get more and more of it. So this is actually turning into a very good releasing video. Acceptance of my reality is powerful for me. Then I see what I can change or not. Exactly, Tom. A lot of people, the reason people don't want to accept their reality is because they're averse to it. They say, I can't, if I accept my reality, then I would accept the fact that I would hate myself. No, that's not what we're saying. We could accept the fact that you have a subconscious thought that you hate yourself. You could accept the fact that you are attached to hating yourself subconsciously or at a deep level, but none of that is even true at a deeper level. You could say, but I don't even know if that's true at that deeper level. That's just a thought. That's an idea. That's sensation. That's not necessarily real. Now, how can I make this the best day possible? How can I change it? How can I move forward? How can I feel lighter today, even if it's 1%? And that's powerful. So, the ego almost believes acceptance is resignation and wants to resist as a result. Yeah, well, acceptance is not resignation. Resignation is resignation. That's apathy. And that's what a lot of people think is acceptance. They think when they go into resignation, they're going into acceptance. I don't know if any of you are guilty of that, but in reality, acceptance is light and heart opening and feels really good. Resignation is heavy, and they're really, really close to each other in a weird sort of way, but they're not the same. Okay, guys. Any more questions? Oh, we got a question up here from Jose. Hey, Brian, do you make a differentiation in the way you allow, reveal, release? I love how you used all that. The outward energies, lust, anger, pride, versus the inward energies, apathy, grief, and fear. Somebody's been studying. No. Uh, I would love to get the inward energies more outward, and I'd love to get the outward energies more relaxed and flowing versus forcing. But I don't think about that too much. And no, not really, because it bounces around, everything goes up and down. I do work on making them all proactive and release all the right and wrong, the good and bad, the attachment, the aversion to each one, so that pride is no longer good or bad, anger is no longer good or bad. Then I can be proactive with them, and it becomes easy to move up the scale, because I'm no longer fighting the anger. So I hope that helps you there, Jose. And or Jarshi, first comment from you today. You've been quiet. Sorry, you're on the other side of my camera. I got to move this. Hold on one sec. Okay, there we go. Do I ground out really uncomfortable sensations that come up during the day when I am out, or do I focus on releasing them? Which one will provide a permanent shift? Well, grounding doesn't necessarily mean you ground out the sensation. Grounding means you create a grounding space so the sensation can ground itself out. You don't do anything. You just you allow that, you ask the body to hook up, you develop your grounding. But if an emotion is going to leave through your grounding mechanism, you just let it do it. But what I would do is, if you can, release them, welcome them, be proactive with them, stay low in your body with them, and they'll most likely just start. If you ask them to release, they'll release, but you're not making them release. It's the idea is the body does it itself once you get out of its way. What you're doing is creating a space for the body to do what it's built to do. Most of the time, our head gets in the way of the body doing the releasing naturally, processing naturally. So we think too much and we analyze too much and we get stuck. But you get out of its way, it just does its job. And so that's what grounding is really about, is getting out of your body's way and letting, so you can feel fully, so that then you can get a release. Because that's really what grounding does. It allows you to release, which is the same thing in a sense. A release happens typically through your grounding system. Um, okay, cool. Awesome, guys. We have a smaller crowd today. I'm sure 24 of you now. I'm sure something happened, maybe some interesting communication. I do want to share. You guys enjoying this releasing video? I didn't intend for it to really be releasing, but it kind of is. And what I recommend is that if I do a quick recap, is every day you have your goal. I want to feel confident around beautiful women, solid, flowing, and be able to talk to beautiful women and blah, blah, blah. And you read it and you meditate on it and you welcome it. Maybe you can fall asleep imagining it. That's really powerful, like Neville Goddard's work. But then during the day, you welcome up all the stuff, say yes to it, like the practice we just did, and you let go of all the resistance. And then you go, and as you cycle through these, you're going to be, and you can even through the day, you can even cycle back to the goal a few times if you want, and then do the releasing again. Or in this case, the self-esteem work, as we're calling it, because you're really focusing on how does this make me feel as a person? Does it make me feel valued? Do I deserve, like a good question to ask yourself is, do I deserve that girl? Can I be good enough man? Can I be a good man for that girl? Do I feel like that she would, that she's too good for me? Do I feel like that I'm good enough for her? Do I feel like we could be a compliment for each other? These questions will bring up all kinds of shit inside of you. You can make up questions like that. So that's the kind of the process we're talking about here, and just process it all out, and do it a little bit at a time. Give yourself a period of time to do it. This is basically what I do with the goal setting process, and hopefully some of you got the goal setting process, the Fresh Start program, and if not, I'm sure it's coming out down the road as a product. That thing was badass, and people are getting huge changes. I know my sister says she's making all kinds of money from it, investing, and she's super happy about that. So if you haven't got the Fresh Start program, consider that. That'll really help you understand this better too, and it works powerfully with releasing. So with that said, the next seminar we're going to be having, we don't have a web page for it. We don't have marketing for it. We just finished the Attraction and Gathering Summit. We plan to have 3 a year at this point. And the next one is going to be all on the revealing process, a live seminar on the revealing process, not a live workshop or intensive with limited number of guys, a big room with a whole bunch of people, with me doing reveals and taking you through the basics of revealing and processing and helping you guys do them as a big, huge group. It'll be a nice, affordable, fun event, possibly in Miami. Well, we're looking at Miami. We're looking up in the mountains of Montana, just for the fun of it, because I have a place there possibly that's closing right now that I'm buying. But we'd be doing it at a big hotel up there, and it's beautiful. So there's a lot of different places we could be doing it. That's coming up. So if you guys are interested in that, there's no real link for it. If you got, there's no place to go buy, but just kind of get ready for it. We're going to be coming down the pike with some information on that. So let me know if you guys are excited about that. I keep creating these new seminars for you guys because they're fun. I love doing them. We all get to hang out, and they're not as intense as the intensives and stuff like that. And they're easier for people to get into. They're way more cost effective. So let me know if any of you guys plan to come to that one. If you guys do want to sign up, there are a few people signed up. You can go to the webpage, thefearlessman.com, look at the events page, and that's where you can sign up, because we don't have any landing page or anything set up for it yet. We're working on that. Do it in Miami, Luis. Do you live in Miami, Luis? Fort Lauderdale, not far away, huh? A lot closer than Los Angeles, huh? Awesome. So who knows? It may end up in Miami. That's one of our considerations. One of the considerations we were playing with was, do we have more guys that want to do revealing to get women, or they just want to do revealing to feel great? And if we want to just do revealing for all kinds of stuff and feel great, then yeah, Montana would be awesome. If you want to do revealing because you want to be around a bunch of women while you do it, then probably Miami. So, but there are a lot of cute girls in Bozeman, Montana, because there's a college there, and they make hell of eye contact. It's interesting. Really good eye contact. But yeah, it's not going to be a goals one as much as going to be a revealing process one. So Montana, yeah, I love it there. It's such a peaceful place. And oh my God, Montana in July would be stunning. The green and the animals and the nature. Oof. Oh yeah, there'll be guided meditations. There'll be many of them. That's kind of the whole process. Guided reveals and guided process dropping of emotion. We'll be taking you through all kinds of stuff and demonstrations. And as of right now, you should be able to join online. We're pretty much doing all the seminars online. So I don't see any reason why that would change unless we wanted to do something private, personal, but right now, no. The only place to register for it right now is on the website on the events page. We don't have a landing page yet. And so probably by next week, we'll have a landing page. So Upal, if you want to check it out there, go to the event page, it'll be there. But can't guarantee the location yet. So we haven't decided. So if you guys register now, don't hold us to that location, to any location. So with that said, thefearlessman.com right there. Cairo just posted events. There's a link for it. So guys, click on that link if you want to check it out. Anybody else have I'm about to close out. It's been an hour. Anybody else have one last question they want to ask me? Nice, relaxed day. Slow. Nice. Or Cairo, do you need to say anything before I go either? I hit everything, right?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Okay, guys. I think that's it. You guys have an awesome night. I have a busy next couple of days, so I need to get back to it. Awesome having you, Jonathan. I saw you, Jonathan Sebastian. You're hiding in there. He didn't say anything. He was being quiet. Have a great night, guys, and I'll talk to you all next week, if not sooner. Take care.